Good morning. Welcome to The Early Bird. The Early Bird is a local podcast all about telling the stories of local businesses in Centre Wellington. Today I am joined by Leanne from YOUtopia. So thank you, Leanne, so much for joining us today.
Morning. This is very early, but what? Early bird for sure.
It is very early. It is the early bird. It is the early bird. This podcast is about walking with the entrepreneurs and learning about the lessons they learned along the way, the wins, the losses, and everything in between. So we're going to journey with Leanne as she shares with us her journey starting her business here and the challenges and victories that she's faced. So let's just jump right into it.
Okay.
Now, that is a bit of to confuse our audience, or just I like to begin with a game. I like to begin with an activity because it kind of gets the brain rolling, you know what I mean? It kind of gets us thinking. And so we're gonna play a brand new game today. So you're the test subject. I've never done this.
Okay.
I've never tested out this game before. So this game is called Perfect Day, okay? Perfect Day. And the way the game works, it's very easy. It's not even a game. Game's not even the right word for this. How the game works is I'm gonna roll this over to you. I'm gonna try and have it so that you don't need to even move that much.
Okay.
But really, what's gonna happen is you are gonna write down what would your perfect day in your business look like. What would you be doing at 6 in the morning, 9 in the morning, noon, 3, and 6 p.m.? What would the perfect day look like for you?
Perfect, not my actual day.
No, not your actual day.
Perfect
Not your
day.
real day.
Okay.
This is fiction. This is like this might almost never happen. So it's 6:30 a.m. What are you doing?
Oh, okay. Well, okay. I'm going to say, okay.
You're in the gym.
Yeah. 9 o'clock. Can I put it in between here?
You can. You can put it in between. You can put it in between.
In between, okay. Okay.
Ooh, there you go. Family time.
Okay. Let's just say get ready. And then here at 10 or 9:30.
Oh, this is very specific. Okay, 9:30 to 10.
At work. Okay.
At work.
Okay.
That's a short work shift.
At work.
9:30 to 10.
Start.
Oh, start. Oh, okay. I was like, wow.
Jeez,
this is the perfect day. Half an hour in the office.
Okay, well, if this was perfect,
yes.
I would eat.
Okay, you're right.
If this is perfect, I would eat. Okay.
At lunch.
So in here, I see clients. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we keep going. Okay. Ooh. I'm still okay. For me.
End day, end work.
This is a perfect day, right?
This is the perfect day.
And I will say go home. Let's say that. Look at my writing here. Go home. And my perfect day, I'm going to add a 10 o'clock.
Sure, add a 10 o'clock.
At 10 p.m. and say I should be in bed.
Be asleep by 10
Right?
p.m.
Asleep, yes.
So all the way from, I noticed you have a big empty spot from kind of just after 12 to 6. Is that just see clients all the way through?
Yes.
Is it typically just one, like how long is seeing one client? Like an hour? 5 hours?
So I actually book, I don't rush clients, so I actually do book like 45 minutes an hour, yes.
Really? Because it might only take half an hour, but you just don't want.
Yeah, I don't want rushing. So I used to work at a very busy spa before I opened my own in Kitchener Waterloo, kind of casually at 2 places. And as a main injector there, we only would get like 20, 30 minutes max with clients. So there really was no relationship building or anything happening. Like we're very rushed.
Oh, okay.
So I decided I did not want to do that.
That's interesting. You know, you're not the first person to sit here and say, oh, I worked at a previous place. They did it this way. I didn't like it. And so I knew that if I was going to open my own, I would do the opposite.
Yeah.
Is that abnormal? Do a lot of services like your own rush it? Like, is that everyone generally, or is it?
I would have to say there is a lot of medical spas that are very focused on sales. Very focused on sales and money. And yeah, I would say their appointments are very fast. very quick to see how much they can get done. Yes.
Do you find that when you have customers come in, especially new customers who don't know you, don't know about like the brand or the energy that you're really trying to move forward, that they almost expect that? Like, do they come in being like, all right, I'm ready to fly into this? And
some,
yeah,
and some do like. I talk a lot, so some do like to be in and out.
Yeah.
But I think majority of feedback. I mean, we've had a lot of newcomers from the city here as well, moved to the area, so they almost expect it. So they have said how different they find it.
That's interesting.
And that I get to know them and we build relationships. So they sometimes they're amazed at how much education I give to to them.
So maybe Fergus folk, Fergus folk want it a little bit slowed down, but people from the city generally come and expect it a little bit quick.
Yeah, that's the norm. I think that they used to as well.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's really cool. Would you say like, oh, sorry, I don't want to get too. I'm getting pulled away from perfect day, our game. Okay. So see clients around right after you've started work. You've walked in the office at around 9:30. I imagine the sun is flowing in. Is there like unseen things when it comes to opening up the shop? Like, are there things that the normal folk don't see? Is it just as easy as coming in, turning on the light, and then you're done?
Oh gosh, I wish. No, so supplies are a big nightmare sometimes. So making sure we have enough supplies. Of course, we have to check bathroom. Coffee, like some of the girls. So myself and Rupert. So Rupert's an RMT that rents a room at the front. So there's two of them, two RMTs, and then actually Hope is an early bird too. So some of the girls that love to be there early, they like to turn everything on. So we kind of take it in turns. Who's ever there first.
And maybe if it's your perfect day, they've done
it
this day. This day, you actually are just
done everything. Yeah, it's all done. I just walk in.
Oh, that's wonderful. Look at that. Well, all right. Well, thank you for playing Perfect Day with us. I appreciate that.
Sleep is important.
Sleep is very important.
I'm a terrible sleeper.
Are you not usually, on a perfect day, are you not usually asleep at 10? No? Are you, what's going on? Are you working late in the evening or?
Yeah, I work late. It's hard. Like behind the scenes, there's a lot of things that you have to do. Owning a business, right? It's a lot of charting. There's a lot of admin work. So my brain doesn't slow down very much. So I have a hard time sleeping. So.
Oh no, I know. Well, that's what it is too. It's like that's what was the hope of this podcast, was that most people don't see that. All people see for you is they see the store, and if they walk in, they maybe see you for one of those short little, visits, but they don't see all the hours into the evening that you're putting in. They don't see the weekends where you're hustling and getting things put together. They just see the little bit. And that's what we want, right? We don't want them to see all the behind the things, but there is so much that happens there, and I think being able to take the opportunity to share the story. So what's the late work? Injection late at night, or?
No. Well, I do typically work till 8 o'clock at night sometimes. 8, 9 o'clock I'm at the spa. Yeah, 2, 3 evenings a week typically.
Really?
Till late, yeah. And then at least 8 o'clock for sure. And then I go home and.
You're in the office until 8, like 2 or 3 nights a week.
Yeah.
Oy.
Yeah.
Will you take last minute calls? Can people walk right in and be like?
They can, but my schedule's busy now, so I'll if I can take quick, like B12s or something that's quick, sometimes I'll take if they walk in, but injectables, no, they have to pre-book.
You can't just 8 p.m. Tuesday night walk right in. Leanne.
No, definitely not. They have to book.
Okay. All right, so let's get back to the heart of it, okay? So all about the journey you took to start your business, all about, you didn't choose to start a business just anywhere. You chose one right here in the heart of Centre Wellington, downtown Fergus. But before all that was here, it was an idea in your head. And before that, it was maybe just a series of events that led you to think this way. Let's get back to the very beginning. What started the journey for you to start this business?
So I've been a nurse a long time. I was thinking that on the way here, actually. So I was a cadet nurse at 17 years old in the UK. So I started, a long time. I'm aging myself.
A cadet nurse.
A cadet nurse. So
What's a cadet nurse?
I think it's still around actually in the UK. So you leave school, high school, and you basically can go and sign up. They have to interview you, see if you want to do nursing. So I was a cadet nurse at 17, a little bit similar to a PSW.
Okay.
So you are working, you're gaining experience to see if you like actual nursing, want to do it and want to pursue the career. But you do work straight away, nursing homes, hospitals, placements.
Okay.
So I did that for a year, loved it, and then at 18 you can apply to be a student nurse if you want to. So
Okay. Wow. So this has been your whole life, has been to be a nurse.
whole life, and then in UK,
medical,
so we pick our areas in UK. I absolutely love surgical nursing, so my background's always been in acute care and surgical. So
Really?
I started in England, and then I went to live in New Zealand.
So you're not from here?
I'm not from here.
No, I couldn't.
Speak a Queen's English.
I know, I couldn't tell. And this might sound terribly uneducated by me, but I know that people insist there's a difference in the accents from different parts of England.
Yeah.
I can't tell. I just hear the accent and I'm like, England. Is that offensive? Like if I were to that's acceptable?
No, however.
Okay.
So I'm a northerner.
Okay.
So very broad, a little bit rough, one would say.
Okay.
And then the southern part of UK is London.
Oh,
so you can drive an hour in the UK and the accents are very different, but
really?
Yeah, the north and south like to be disassociated
from each other.
Yeah.
And I would say that's probably true to a sense in Canada. Like people in Newfoundland speak differently than people mainlanders, but that's the only example I can think of. I'm sure there are others. Okay, so you're from Northern England, and then so you moved to Australia.
New Zealand. I was Australia for about 6 months, and then I decided I liked New Zealand better, so I was in New Zealand for nearly 6 years. Yeah.
Really?
Nursing there.
What drew you out from home? Like, did you always have an entrepreneurial travel? Like, do you want to see the
travel.
world?
So I laugh when I say this to people. But my background, my family do have Irish roots and gypsies. So my granddad's side were gypsy travelers. So we do laugh about that because we all like to travel. My parents retired, they live in Spain.
It's in your blood.
My sisters travel. So we do, I think it's in the blood. We like to travel, we like to see places. So we all kind of moved away, and it's tough sometimes because I have no family my side that are around here. But yeah.
Of course, I know. That's tough. I feel like we're the opposite. I'm like, all right, I have found a place to live. This will be my place forever. But travel is huge, right?
Yeah.
So you moved to these places. You're actively in nursing that whole time, and
so got a job. So I was in New Zealand. Loved it actually. It was probably the best place I've worked healthcare wise.
Oh.
The people
in the public sector or in the
public. So well organized. Their managers, the staff nurses, senior charge nurses, they work 12, 24 hours of shifts. So you've always got somebody senior to support you. They work nights, they work days. So the doctors have to be in the hospital. They sleep there. So it was
sleep there?
Yeah. Very well ran. You always were supported. They have that healthcare streamlined. So I really enjoyed it. I learned so much there. I had Isabella, my first daughter, there. So far from England.
Yes.
I went back twice. It's like 27 hours on a plane, and my parents came twice. It nearly killed me. So I was like, oh, this is terrible. So then my parents wanted me to be closer, but I wasn't quite ready to go back to England. So I ended up in BC first, actually. So BC is very similar scenery to New Zealand. So I lived.
Oh my gosh! So you said you went from England to New Zealand, but you said you were in Australia for a short bit, but not yet.
I lived before New Zealand. I went to Australia for extremely hot, and there is a lot of snakes and spiders.
So I almost feel like we should have a tier list of places that you liked working with. BC, New Zealand, England. You got Australia. Okay, so it was hot and there was snakes. So you didn't spend lots of time there.
No. I wish I had gone a little bit more, but yes, I just was drawn to New Zealand more, I think.
Right. Were you in, before we leave Australia, were you in Sydney, or were you in the...
Brisbane.
Oh, okay.
And it's, Sunshine Coast. It's beautiful. A lot of surfing. They're very outdoorsy too, very similar. Australia and New Zealand, very similar people, culturally, but I preferred, I think New Zealand's more laid back. So and the scenery more green.
Yeah.
New Zealand's more green. It rains more than Australia.
But you left there. and decided instead of home, we're gonna hit up Canada. Just trying to hit up all the colonies. Like, is that the goal?
This is the longest place I've stayed somewhere actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you start businesses in those other places or
No? It was always just nursing in public and healthcare and hospitals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you're in BC.
Yeah.
And whereabouts in BC?
So I live in Vancouver Island.
In Vancouver Island. Yeah. Culturally, is it different than here?
Way more laid back.
Way more laid
BC,
back?
Yes, especially the island. They're very hippie-ish. Very hippie-ish, very chilled. Everybody's just,
Pretty just relaxed?
Yeah.
I've heard that people from BC are a little bit, they take life in the slow lane.
I would say of all the places Ontario is way more work obsessed than any place I've worked. Even from the UK actually. Like when I first came here, when they offered me 2 weeks vacation, I'm like, what? Like 2 weeks when half of your year is -40 weather. You get a flu for a week.
Oh,
yes, 2 weeks. I'm like, this is insane. So UK, you start with 6 weeks vacation.
I've heard it's better everywhere else, but every Canadian. This is what happens. Canadians, and I guess when I say Canadians, I mean Ontarians. I don't know. What do you call it?
Ontarians.
Ontarians? Okay. Ontarians. I know that you hear, like in places in Europe, that people have much better vacation packages, much better, like those things. But we don't compare ourselves. We compare to the States, and we say, well, we've got paid maternity leave, we've got we've got paid healthcare, way better than what's going on in the States. But we're punching down on the easy target, But I know that's interesting. Ontario's but I think culturally we're probably closer even to like the Rust Belt, you'd find, right? Like even in the States, no?
Yeah, like I was shocked at a lot of things when I came here, and I think to myself, I was shocked at that mentality, like even in healthcare, that people work 50, 60 hours a week is kind of the norm here. However, I've got into that now.
Yeah, working
before it wasn't like that, but yes, everybody seems to do that here, and there's a big. Toys here. Everybody buys. They overstretch, I think. There's a lot of,
That's very interesting.
To fit in with the Joneses, I find.
More in Ontario?
Yeah.
That's very... So do you think... Okay, so since this is an entrepreneur podcast, do you think that the like work culture or like the work-driven culture of Ontario helps entrepreneurs? Or do you think there's a lesson to be learned from driving in the slow lane or taking things a little bit slower? Or is that not an option as an entrepreneur? What do you think?
I'd like it to be. I don't know. This is coming up 5 years for me, and it's. I always have Dana, my partner, who's amazing and so supportive, but he does a lot. And he always is like, "Is it ever going to?
When do we get to the slow years?" And you're like, "This is it, honey."
I know. It's a lot. It's a lot, and It does. It's hard to balance. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Between family time, your own health, right, and having a thriving business and trying to make everything work. It
is true. I do feel like even like on our end, like I'm running into clients who want access to you, not just 9 to 5, right? They want access all around the clock. They're sending me emails at like 10 p.m. at night, and then like I'm responding at 6. Well, you're at the gym. I'm like responding. So it's just like it does. I feel like you hit the nail on the head when it comes to your assessment of the work culture of Ontario. But do you ever feel like that's us doing it to ourselves? Like, do you think, honest question, if you took a 2-hour break and every day, would things have fallen apart?
No.
No. But do we give it to ourselves?
No.
No, we don't. And I think the same way. I could probably take 2 hours in the middle of the day, rest. I'll be volunteering with Hope on a field trip, and I'll be like,
yeah.
I should be doing some work right now. Like, what am I doing? But I know, like, what's the difference between me getting to an email like at 1 p.m. or 4? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really even change the day that I'm doing the work. It just pushes it off for an hour. So I feel like we're doing it to ourselves.
You know, I can easily, I think that's the nursing side of me. I can easily tell people, oh, you need to slow down. You need to look after. I've got friends that own businesses that are in real estate, and I've told them, I'm like, you're going to make yourself ill. Like, slow down. But we don't take our own advice. We don't take our own advice, and so those friends are like, you know what,
you're never stop hustling
the same too. So I don't know why we do that. I don't know if it's is it out of fear that we'll lose business, or that,
I feel like I don't know. I mean, I guess every business is different, but like and I get like every industry I would imagine would be different, but I'm like, well, what if like there's like something that happens and it needs my attention, and specifically me. It can't be my teammates. It needs to be me. I need to be the one there. And it's like, and it catastrophizes, and it's like, what could I even imagine would happen in that time that would require me to immediately respond? And if not, the client being like, well, that's it, we're done. Like, we don't want to work. You know what I mean? Like, I can't think of that, but you're right. We just don't listen to our own advice.
And it's funny because I worked shifts my whole career, right? Nights, 12-hour shifts, days and weekends and nights. And I can actually say I've probably been more tired now than whenever
Do you
different type of tired.
I was gonna ask, do you miss, not that we regret starting businesses, but does part of you miss just being a nurse in the public sector?
Part of me miss just going to work and coming home and switching off and being with my family. Yes.
Well, there you go.
Part of me misses that for sure, because you do not, owning a business, you do not switch off.
No, it's always hanging over your head.
Yeah, there's always something to do.
I know that it's not the same. Obviously, it's much more involved being a nurse. But I remember I was a table server through college, and I felt the same way. Like if a shift ended, I don't care if the place blows up after I leave. You know what I mean? Like, I'm done. It's not my fault anymore. But like but you're right. As soon as you become a small business owner, it's always just on the mind. You're always just thinking. Sorry, we're jumping the gun here. So you're in BC. What year did you end up in BC?
2012, I think.
Okay.
My gosh, we're going back here. 2000, yeah.
Wow. So you're there. We're still working as an...
No, 2012. So Isabella was born 2011 in New Zealand. So 2014. I moved out to BC.
So you land in BC, start working in hospitals. Yes. And what was that like?
A shock. Canada's very different when it comes to healthcare. Yeah, so it's a little shock.
And only the better, right? Oh no.
So it's funny because we just said that Ontario is very work obsessed.
Yes.
But yet when I came to Canada as well, even BC, and then came to Ontario, it was a big shock for me that managers don't work in the healthcare system the same shifts. They typically like 9 to 3, 9 to 4, 9 to 5, but there's no round the clock.
For the managers?
Like
support, like the most experienced? Like
the most experienced, yeah.
Oh, because you were just saying that in New Zealand.
Doctors don't have to stay in a building. They can live within half an hour proximity to be on call. Yeah, so the healthcare was a little bit of a difference to me. So sometimes you can be on a shift and very green nurses. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, so have you ever been caught, not like you specifically, but like the unit you're in with your pants down, like no one there, experiences there, some emergency happens and you're sort of just having to try and juggle?
When I was in BC on the island, amazing friends. So I'm still one of my best friends. I still speak to her to this day, but who I met, we were on the surgical unit, and there's a lot of logging happening in BC. Right. So we did have a unfortunate incident with the man with a chainsaw through his arm. I don't know why they thought he could come and wait on the unit for surgery, because as soon as we saw him, we were like...
Chainsaw? Was the chainsaw still there?
No. He was fully strapped, like bandaged, but it was oozing, like bandaged. And he was waiting for surgery, but our hospital did a lot of ortho, so hips and knees, and so they were waiting, and he was hysterically laughing, and I said to my friend, he's in shock. I'm pretty sure he's in shock. It's going to go. So it did go down pretty fast, but to get like the surgeon to come, they were like, oh yeah, we have him on the next list. I'm like, no, we cannot wait. Like
this man cannot wait.
So we did. They weren't like taking it so seriously, so we pushed the bed down into the OR. And it was like, you can deal with him. We're not dealing with this.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Chainsaw, but I feel that's a crazy story. Although I will say, chainsaw stuck in arm feels BC like. I feel like I imagine a giant lumberjack walking through the woods, chopping down.
Totally. He was like, I'm fine, laughing. I'm pretty sure he's not, but yes.
Oh my gosh. So how long were you in BC for?
4-ish years on the island,
Okay.
and then to Ontario.
And what drew you? You were saying, oh, I'm not working hard enough. I need to go to Ontario.
So I actually had my second. Georgia actually was born in BC. In BC, and then on the island again. It was very difficult to get on and off the island. Like the ferry runs back and forth from Vancouver to Vancouver Island. So they were reducing the times of the ferry. It was getting more and more expensive, so it was getting hard to travel.
Do you need to leave the island like quite frequently? I guess if you want to visit.
If you want to travel and family comes. So then I was like, oh, you know what? Toronto, back to England and see my family is just direct flight. So that's actually how we ended up looking at Ontario. Yes.
Okay, so you're saying you get the gypsy blood, you're being everywhere, but look at you, you're prioritizing being in places that are more accessible to family and travel. So
yes.
There you go.
And I would still be traveling if my kids were at school.
Of course, I know, because now you roots are here, but so why Fergus? You're here
this
in
is
Fergus.
such a cliche to say it was a man, isn't it? But Dana actually lived here. So Dana lived here, but I was actually Collingwood before here.
Oh, okay.
I was in Collingwood.
That's in Caledon, right?
No, you know Sega Beach? We're Sega Beach, Collingwood.
Not Collingwood. Collingwood. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I'm sad that I'm being recorded as I'm not knowing anything about Ontario.
Blue Mountain.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
So I lived up there.
I'm going to edit that part out.
I actually lived there. I lived between Wasaga and Collingwood. So I was there with my ex-husband, my children, and then worked at Collingwood Hospital, and then went through a very nasty separation, nasty divorce. So I was on my own with the girls, and then I knew Dana anyway. He was a friend.
Okay.
So we lived in a cul-de-sac. So his friends were my neighbors. So I used to visit in the summer and come and see them. So I knew him anyway. He was great. He was kind. He was the man that got all the kids in the cul-de-sac playing hockey or baseball. So
that's fun.
Yeah. So I knew him. So I was on my own for a while, and then my neighbor's like, "You've got a secret admirer," and I'm like, "Oh no, I hate men.
No, I don't.
No time for that. I'm fine on my own now."
Yes.
And then it just carried on, and then I got flowers delivered,
and you're like,
so I'm like,
maybe.
Okay. And actually, my parents were the ones that said, "When have you turned down a free meal?" So I was like, "True, I'll let him take me out for dinner. True, why not?"
So when was the first time you were in Fergus? Did he take you here one day to one of the local establishments?
So we started seeing each other, and then I came down to see where he lived, and this area is beautiful as well. Yeah. And I like. Obviously, Isabella then was going to go start. She was grade 6 when we moved here, going into grade 7. So I knew high school would be coming. And around here, it's so nice to know there's Kitchener, Waterloo, there's Guelph, everything's in within half an hour drive. So this area was much better for potential for her.
Okay. Well, Fergus has become so much more than just your home. It's now the place that hosts your business. Yeah. So let's get started into that. I know. I feel like
I talk forever.
I know.
I told you.
Well, that's the challenge is that I've gotten I have 1 hour to tell the whole story, which is just not enough time. But I do want to get to the juicy bits and the main bits, which is you're an entrepreneur. You started a business right here. Why? Why?
So I was actually, I used to suffer a lot from migraines. So I, in the past, had a lot of medication and really bad side effects to them. I have naturally very low blood pressure, low iron. I'm typical, English. So I didn't do very well on those medications. And it was when I lived actually in BC that a doctor said, let's try Botox.
Okay.
So I'd been
migraines.
having it in BC for my migraines. It was worse when I had my children. It used to get worse. So I used to get the injections in BC. And then when I moved to Ontario, the doctor did not want me to do it and wanted me to try new medications. And I said, no, I don't want to. You have all my paperwork.
Yeah.
Like, I can't afford to be off work. Like, they really put you out for a few days. I'm like, Botox works. And he said no. So I said, well, you know what? I'm going to take the courses then. I'm going to take the courses. I'm a nurse, learn how to do it myself. So I did go on the courses and start doing injectables, was doing my own. I mean, I couldn't do the back of my neck, so I have a friend that does Botox too, so she was helping me. But I started doing my own, and then friends hear about it, so then friends ask you if you'll do their Botox. So it kind of grew like that. I found a medical director who I've been with since day one, who's a good friend. So it grew like that, and then I was like, oh, well, maybe I could turn this into a business.
So you didn't choose the entrepreneur life. The entrepreneur life chose you.
Yeah, I think so. I knew how beneficial it was for me.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of medical. I like the medical Botox as well. So a lot for for migraines, a lot for hyperhidrosis, so excessive sweating, and then TMJ. So a lot of people have jaw pain and grind in their teeth. So you can put a big.
And that can help with that.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm so. So listen, we've had a few guests in this podcast, and I don't have a background in almost all the guests' backgrounds, right? But it's like when we have someone who owns a moving company, I've moved. You know what I mean? I know enough about that world that I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
We've never had Botox.
No, surprisingly, but I have not. But I'm so uneducated in your world, and so I guess I'd love to back up and even ask you if you would just say in one sentence the service you provide, what would you say it is?
One sentence.
If you had to. And hopefully it's not just a list of, well, we do this and this and that.
Well, I know, again, a bit cliche to say I help people look and feel the best self. I see that all the time. I would say, okay, this is not one sentence. I can't do one sentence.
Do the best you can. If you got to do a couple.
I always say to people, I do not like the idea of change. I'm not here to change you or make you look any different. I think we all need to embrace our authenticity a little bit. That's what makes us unique. But I am here to help people feel revitalized or refreshed and just feel, better about themselves. But I think people do have to embrace their unique selves, because there's a lot of bad filler out there too.
Yeah, really, eh?
I think a lot of people see some of the famous stars and how they've changed, and that's not, Botox doesn't really change the shape of a face, but fillers do. Fillers do, so some people get a bit obsessed with it and then end up looking a little over puffy and filled. So yeah, I do not. I'm quite happy to say no to people. I do say no to people.
Really?
Yes.
So, well, it's right there in the name. YOUtopia. It's all about you-centric. Where did the name come from?
Actually that. So actually that. Very good. Actually that. Did
Look
you
at
look
that.
that up? So,
No,
that.
I'm just so smart.
Just focused on you.
Okay.
And so because everybody has different, I do not tell people what they should be doing either. So when I worked at other places before, I was really put off by this industry because, like I said, it was very, very money. And fillers, big injectables, are where a lot of money comes from. So that's why fillers get overdone, I think.
Popular because people are pushing for it, bigger profit margin.
Where I've worked before, that is what started to happen, I think, and they encouraged us to do fill. So I remember seeing a young girl come in where I worked before, and she was about 21, beautiful, but I saw she had acne, really bad acne on her face actually, and scarring. So I saw that she had acne, and yet the owners, they were encouraging, they were like, lip filler would suit you, cheek filler, and nobody wanted to talk about her skin.
Really?
So I said to my boss, this is like, I have a daughter who's in her teens. If she walked in somewhere and somebody said, oh, you need a lip filler, cheek filler, and change it to... and didn't actually address probably what concerns her when she looks in the mirror and it's her skin, then I would be mortified. So for me, I very much talk about foundation. Most of my clients know that. I always say injectables, Botox, and things are icing on the cake. But if you don't look after the foundation, then you're going to continue to need more and more and not be happy with yourself. So foundation being the skin. So I always talk about skincare and health. And,
So is that the first, so if you have a new person comes in, you sit down with them at one of these ideal times, what's the first question you ask them when they sit down?
I always say, what concerns you? What is it that why you came here? Tell me why you came here. What is it that...
Do you find that most people come in with a very specific idea of like, this is what I want, I'm coming for this, or is it like, I just have this challenge and I'm hoping you're going to guide me to...
Some. It's hit and miss really now. I think I have a way of, I like people to open up. I like people to talk about their lifestyles and also what they do, because that obviously takes a big impact as well on what they want to achieve. But I always ask people, tell me what you do. Are you active? So that we can kind of get a goal together and create a plan. But I would say most of them have not had education. So a lot of people don't know. Yeah, so a lot of people don't know. And it still amazes me to this day that I have some clients that come to me from the city and they've been having a lot of filler or injectable Botox for many, many years, and they didn't know about dissolving, or they don't know how to dissolve it if something goes wrong, or
Really? So are you finding that when you're having these consults, you're meeting with a new client, like they very rarely, or like, how often do they know all the things not everything but like they're well educated in that world? Like typically they're not, or
not new ones? No, my regulars now, they know.
They know.
They know. My regulars know that we talk all the time, and
Right, because you talk a lot. I'm sure you educate them.
We talk a lot. We do. We build. That's the best thing. We build good relationship. And we do have this area, you do end up getting a really good loyal base of clients. People are very loyal in this area, actually.
I have found, especially in Fergus, I personally think, and I've said this, I feel like every podcast, but I say it because I think it's true. Centre Wellington is the best place to start a business because everyone here loves local. Yeah. They're loyal to local. They would rather go with you than someone who is out of town, because they just would rather see their dollars in Centre Wellington. But we're close enough to like Guelph, KW, whatever, that like we can also service those areas, right? So I feel like we almost have we get to double dip, have our cake and eat it too. And
I've been asked that a few times because our industry is being oversaturated a little bit now.
In this area, like Centre Wellington?
Everywhere, I think.
Really?
Everywhere. So many nurses, which I don't really agree with, but I went on a course recently, and one of the courses, I think there was 3 of us, probably out of about 14, that had actually worked in hospitals or some healthcare setting. Really? The rest of them went
straight into
they'd gone in to do RPN, which is a 2-year course, just so they could get into injectables.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it's good. So
why do you think, what does the background in public health care and nursing give you that the other nurses don't have?
Oh, for sure. If you've worked in a hospital, especially any acute care, should know how to deal with an emergency situation.
Yeah.
And what signs to look for if somebody's, not doing very well or deteriorating, and how to manage that. So.
Really?
Yeah. So when I hear some RPNs that just took 2-year course just to get injectables,
and that's it.
I'm like. Ooh.
So are your competitors like large, very large groups, or are they like nurses who just took this, who are doing this like out of a rented office? Like what is the?
No, there's lots of spas opening, right? Lots of spas opening. There's a mixture, but I've asked, are you worried about a company? So of course sometimes you think, oh my gosh, we're a small town, how many more can there be? But I even have been on Facebook about this because I really don't like that competition kind of poaching clients. I do not like it.
Yeah.
I think we have to grow businesses organically, and I've commented on Facebook before when people say, who's the best injector in town, or who's the best hairdresser in town.
People do say that quite a lot.
I don't like it. I don't like it because your experience could be very different from mine, right? We could all go to somebody and click. You might like a different sort of atmosphere than me. So I think you're giving your own personal opinion, whereas I think you have to go to them all if you want to. Go
If
and
you
get
really
a
wanna know,
consultation.
yeah.
Go and get a consultation, sit and talk to them. And you should pick based on who you feel that you most gel with. Because we all have different backgrounds,
Yeah.
different experiences, different skills, definitely different personalities.
Yes, yeah.
So I might not be everybody's cup of tea. So I think you have to find who you feel most comfortable and at ease with, and then go. And of course, that's different for everybody. So I don't like that
I know.
sort of.
Well, we live in this funny time where I feel like our customer base, and I think this is for every industry, the most self-educated group ever. Not saying accurately educated, not saying but I feel like it used to be, especially in a small town, you would just trust the local so-and-so.
Yes.
The local, we got to get this job, we'll get the local carpenter to take a look at it. Or we'll take the local person to take a look at it. Whereas now, people are going on web and they're reading your website, they're looking online, they're going on your Instagram, like what's going on there,
Reviews,
right? They're looking at your reviews, they're looking to say what do other people say about this place. They're going on Facebook groups going, who's the best injector in town, you know what I mean? And that's what people are doing, and then they're deciding to pick up the phone after they've done all this work themselves. And it is challenging because then people aren't coming to you with sort of like a fresh slate, willing to sort of give you the chance to sort of be like, is it going to work? But they're like, I heard this or I heard this, or, and you're
So I have two really good friends that work in town as injectors. So Shannon works down the street from me. I've known her forever. She's a great injector. Amy, one of the girls that was here, elevated estate. I worked in Collingwood with Amy, actually at Collingwood Hospital. We were from, so good surgical nurse. So I think, great skills. So I don't like that competitive edge. And we've respected each other. We don't need to poach each other. Like, people will find you. And if I'm not, I always say, if you don't like me, it's fine. There's somebody else you can go to. But the right people will choose you, I think. And I think we need to stop that kind of competition. Edge a bit more. It's a small town. It is a small town. So if you're doing shady or people
word will spread.
Yes,
So how important was it when you started the business for the brick and mortar to have your own building, for it to be in downtown in the core of Centre Wellington? How important was that to the vision?
So I rented a room first. I rented a room above a salon hair with care, actually. I'm still grateful for, starting there. So I rented a room above her salon and was working part-time, still at the hospital, and then doing this in the evenings or part-time. And it just obviously kind of grew. It grew fast. And it was getting busier and busier. And then I was like, what, maybe I need to get my own space. And I love skin health too, so I was like, maybe I can expand and start looking at different machine like microneedling lasers and start looking at more, so which wouldn't need more space. So then I found the building downtown, which was a lot of work. Thanks to Dana, a lot of work.
A lot of work. Was it like, I guess, was it like when you saw it, you're like, I knew we got to have this, or was it like was it like, oh, easy, yes, or was there like hesitations behind? Because it's a big commitment.
No, Kristen Wolfer, the realtor. Oh, Kristen Wolfer, the realtor, is in town. Is one of my it was one of my closest friends. So she was showing me buildings. She showed me in there. We were like, oh, this is a lot of work. It was a lot of work when I walked in. Needed a lot of renovations. So I was like, oh, this will be amazing when we do this and do this. And I could see Dana who does this?
Who does this?
So yes, bless him. Well, took 3 months.
Well, there's that meme. It's like a trend I see on social. It's really funny where it's like someone in the background and it's their boss talking to the client, and it's like they're like, don't worry, we'll find a way to make this happen.
Yes.
And then it's from the perspective of the person. It's like knowing that you are the way, you're the way it happens.
That's definitely him. So he's got a lot of patience.
But you saw the vision, and I feel like for couples, like there's so much value when one person's the vision caster, you know what I mean? They look 5 years down the road, they're seeing where they're going. The dreamer, right? And then you've got the person who does all the work. Not all the work, but can get some of those like the logistical things done in the immediate, No, I hear that. So you got the space. How long did it take before you finally opened it up?
3 months. It was like 3 months,
3 months?
of yeah. And Dana was like there. Let's say 20. He was there. He'd work all day at his job, come and then do that in the evenings till like midnight. We both were there, but he obviously him and we had friends help us, which was great. So yeah, we fully about 3 months till we opened the doors.
And you opened when? When did that build that?
Oh my gosh, February of 20. I get this wrong. Oh, this is terrible. February of 2023.
2023.
Because I opened, rented a room in the salon during COVID. So
Wow.
2021. Not the best time, but
I feel, it's funny. So we moved to Fergus in 2022, but I guess that you wouldn't have been there yet, but it's funny because when I think of like, the downtown core, like the staples there, I think of YOUtopia. Like I'm like, oh yeah, like they've always been there. They've been there forever, but it's only been there since 2023.
So total, in July, 5 years in business from like being in a room and then opening. There's a total of 5 years, yeah.
Wow. Well, so looking back, is there anything that you would have done differently, or you're like, no, we did everything right?
Oh gosh, do you know what? I have definitely built my business, and I'm going to be honest, from relationships with clients and word of mouth, and just doing what I love. Like I love the hands-on. I love that nursing, any form. I actually loved my career as a nurse, so there's not a reason I was like, I don't want to be a nurse.
I hate being a nurse. I got to do my own thing.
So for me, I actually just love people and working with people and having people. So. But I really dislike the business side of things.
Really?
I do.
Oh,
so
no.
I think I would have delegated and got some help right off the bat when I took on the building and went bigger. I would have probably got a lot more help quicker.
Yeah. It's hard though, because early on you're still trying to figure out like what really can be passed off and what can't be. So I don't feel that bad that you didn't pass off more, but.
I'm realizing now, I'm working with somebody right now who's a med spa actually consultant. So, for the areas for systems and structure, and because I'm very like, we're good, everything's fine,
we're going great, we're going amazing.
And then behind the scenes, I'm like.
Up till 8 p.m. at the office working.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh well. I love the story. I've loved the journey from, and I love that you don't come from like a sense of like, oh, I hated this world and I needed to leave that world. And I think you're still involved in the hospital.
Just last year I left actually in August. Yeah, so
Was that a sad
I was only
goodbye?
there 2 days a week anyway at that point, but I missed some of the people I worked with. Yeah, I would say never. I would say never. I mean, who knows? If the hospice gets built in the town, who knows? I do love looking after patients, and so I don't know.
I don't know. Not sure yet.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the business has grown a lot. It keeps growing, so we'll see.
When you think about YOUtopia and you're thinking about the future, like 3 years, 5 years now, where do you see that?
Oof.
And it's hard when you're like living in the moment so much, you know what I mean? But
I honestly can just say I hope it continues to be like it is right now. We have a good loyal base of clients. We do keep growing. Hopefully reputation stays the same and people still love to come and see us.
Yes.
I mean, I always get told, you know what, Leanne, I can either see you in the supermarket, I can see you on the street, and I can see you when I come and see you at YOUtopia, and you're exactly the same. So I do say it how it is, and
I think actually the small town thing, I think even allows us to be better customers, because there's an onus on the business owner being like, I could run into you. I run into clients that's theirs, you know, and you're there, you're like, how are you? But yeah, if you're just your authentic self, you don't need to be worried about.
And that's why I say, like, there's lots of places opening up, and that's why I say I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm very loud, very vocal. So, you know, some people might like a really peaceful, calm, and don't like to talk, don't like. Yeah, that would be hard for me to do that, but...
You've brought that up a couple times. Have you had people be like, who's left, and then you found out later on that they're like, oh, she spoke too much? Or is that just something that you feel?
Most of them know. I end up laughing, crying with my clients. They tell me their story, like their background, and they say that the most. I'm like, you really remember, like when they come back, and yeah.
So how important is the relationship piece as opposed to the actual medical procedures?
Yeah. A big part of it.
Yeah.
A big part of it. You have to gain trust. You have to, have that respect and appreciation for each other and actually truly care. Definitely not. I'm definitely not salesy and businessy. I'm not. I have a hard time with that. I would go above and beyond helping somebody into the late hours rather than money and bills. For me, it's not.
Really?
Yeah.
But I think that's the kind of thing you want, like you'd want in your business owner, like who you work with, someone who actually genuinely cares for you, right? First and foremost. Like obviously you have needs, like you've got the bills to pay, you've got staff to employ, you've got all these things, but like I would find comfort in knowing that my service provider, whoever they are, is genuinely there about fixing the problem, not about just making as much money as they can.
I don't think you can go into a business ownership thinking you're going to get rich. I honestly don't. Because you average out the hours that you're working.
Pennies.
You're making
pennies.
Honestly, I don't.
Yeah.
So for me, I will not do anything, and I didn't go if I could not physically right there and then afford it. I don't. Same with machines or anything that I've bought. I have to be able to buy it. Wow. I don't like to finance things, at least I don't. Because I think this industry, I've seen them go bankrupt. I've seen places go bankrupt. They get themselves into a lot of issues. So I think you have to be smart with it, isn't it? Because you're not getting rich fast. It's definitely not.
And I've there was a guest we had earlier on who told me a story about how a competitor of hers, she owns like a retail store, just bought over $1 million of inventory because they were just like, oh yeah, like this is gonna be big, it's gonna be huge. Like they were sold out. Like they're not sold out. They wish they were sold out. They were out of business within the year. Like they just put all this money in, didn't go as maybe it was slow growth, but like not enough to cover the cost on $1 million of loan.
And it costs a lot. Like outgoings, people do not see the outgoings. Like supplies have gone up, shipping's gone up and up. Everything's gone through the roof cost-wise. Products, of course, have took a big increase. So those things, insurances have all gone up, right? To lease a building, all leases go up. So I think people don't see all of that background when they see things. So I think and devices in our industry are extremely expensive. So there has been spas, like there was one in Guelph, a big one that did the same thing. They just quickly grew. They bought lots and lots of devices, lots of machines, hired lots of different staff and went bankrupt. And I think, like the devices are typically six figures, over six figures. 100.
That's bonkers. Yeah. That's crazy. Well, I'm happy I didn't choose skin.
Yes.
Oh, what's our look? Oh, we're looking at. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. We are running out of time, but we are gonna do one of my favorite games. Okay. One of my favorite games. Right. This is called the Wheel of Big Questions. This is how we end all of our episodes. Okay. So. We're first going to make sure.
Big questions. You've already asked me a lot of questions.
I know, but this is.
Big questions are we asking?
There's more. There's one more.
Okay.
Now, I have to say, I made this wheel and the adjacent questions that go with the wheel before I filmed even a single episode of the podcast. And I realized that the yellow question doesn't work super well because it basically just asks, tell me the story of why you started a business. So yellow just now means spin again.
I hope these are. Can we have some really gritty questions?
These are. Well, I think some of them are gritty.
Ask me stuff that you haven't asked anybody, because I will answer you honestly.
Oh no, this is. We'll have you on again. We'll have a second podcast called Gritty Questions, and we'll have you on for that.
Okay.
All right. Is this good? Okay. So you're gonna spin the wheel, give it a good spin, and then you'll answer the adjacent question.
A good spin. Okay. So I want to break it. Okay.
That was a pretty good spin. Pretty good.
Okay. Oh, it's yellow. Okay.
Oh yeah, give it another one. That was your practice spin. That was your practice spin. I knew when I said yellow was no good, we'd land on yellow. Green. So I've got this adjacent board here.
Okay.
And so you're gonna peel back the green, these two. The green questions.
Okay.
Everyone has struggled a bit with the. Everyone struggled. So don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. That's all right.
Oh God. Okay. Oh, a moment
And then
where
one more.
you almost quit.
Can you take me?
There's a lot of them.
Yeah?
There's a lot of them.
Are there, you asked for a gritty question. I think that's a pretty gritty question. Can you take me to a
I've
time?
had a few recent ones. No,
I had this customer recently.
Yeah,
No.
Not never to do with clients.
Really?
No,
Eh?
actually, no.
Okay, so.
I would say, oh God, there's been a few, but I think just being overwhelmed. There's been a few times where I'm so overwhelmed with everything, and it always is to do with business, bookkeeping, accounting, financing, and all of the behind the scenes that I'm like, why am I doing this again? So I think ideally, yeah, it would be just when it was growing quickly and just feeling overwhelmed with everything.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Was there almost like imposter syndrome where you're sort of like, I'm not the kind of person that owns a business that is growing this well or whatever? Like,
I think as a business owner, there's always some imposter syndrome. You always we think, are we doing enough? Can we do more? Are we doing enough
that's
better?
why we're working to 8 o'clock every night.
Every night, and then not sleeping and ticking. What can I do? So. And trying to keep everybody happy and staff happy, and it's a lot. It's a lot. So I think there's sometimes where you're like, oh, is this? Yeah. Mentally and physically, sometimes you're like, can I keep doing this?
That's a big question. I know. I feel like I have to imagine that every small business owner has asked them, can I keep going at this rate? Like, can I keep going at this at this output? Like, you know, you look back at our measly 2 weeks of vacation per year in Ontario, and you think, is that really like the life for me? And no.
I think we talked about it a little bit at the beginning, and I have recently come to the we have a cottage now, and I have come to the conclusion that you're right. Would it matter if it took another 2 weeks? Everything will survive if you have everything set up properly, and I think we can only give people the best of us if we feel the best ourselves. So if we're constantly draining ourselves and feeling exhausted, that is eventually going to show, right? And my clients, like I said, I've built some amazing relationships, and they sometimes can tell. They're like, "You look really tired. Like, is everything okay?" So I think,
and you don't want to hear that from your. You don't want to be saying that to
them.
They look at the back and they see like 6 coffee cups like all empty on the counter. What gives you that impression?
Yes. Oh. So I think we do need to take care. And I say this probably every Monday this week. I'm going to take care of myself and do a bit better and set some time in my schedule to,
Well, I think that's a very honest answer, and I appreciate having you on the show. So thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you for having me.
No, it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciated this.